Hello and welcome to Sheds Limited. My name's Darren. These are sheds which are being made to go in our yard or show, and there's all different stages. But I've got a Pent shed for you to show you how to build. I've got an Apex shed. I've even got a shed with a window on it for you. So let's go through it. We'll start with the one with the window so you can see how we all build them. Everything's in tongue and groove. The front Apex, when you're doing a front, remember to always work from the full long board across the front, what becomes the top of the board down, so you end up with a straight door at the front. Don't start from the front, from the bottom upwards, always from the top downwards. This is this long board here, downwards. So we're going to go in there and we're going to show you. All sheds are framed up similar, except for on a bigger scale. So this is a window, as you can see, and what we do with a window, if you ask for a window on this side, you'll get your two spars, and then you'll get your pane of glass. This customer, I found a piece of double glaze for him. So then you set these two spars to the sides of your window, because I'm going to cut your window boards a bit longer than these spars, so this becomes your beading. There's my beading on this side, look, and there's my beading what goes into this side, if you can see. And then when the window goes in, that will load it. This beading here, your window will go in there, and this will load it in. So remember your window board, this is a 4-board window. And as you can see, when we frame up, we never ever leave a section of the shed bigger than 4 foot. If it's over 4 foot, it gets a spar in. So that's a 6 foot back. And on a 6 foot back, you get 1 spar in the middle, making 2 3-foot sections at each side. 8 foot, instead of putting 1 in, for a bit of stability, you get 2 spars. If it were 10 foot, you get 3 spar middle. But that's how it is. On a Pent shed, on an Apex shed, sorry, the straight sides are always a spar taller. So when we finish, we end up with this. Because this Apex, if you want to look at the Apex, we'll butterfly it out. That's how we do an Apex. Now the two one which are butterflied up to create the angle, that was exactly the same length as a 6 foot spar, this spar. So this spar here, this one here, was exactly the same length as this one here. And all we do, you cut this one in half and you open it up to allow these to fall in, and then that creates the angle of the roof. I think it's 22.5 degrees, but that's how you do an Apex. So you do make it square, exactly square like that, and then you do put the Apex on top on it. And all this will be all bungled up in individual bungles stating what it's for. And that's how we do an Apex shed. So as long as you tell me what kind of style, and if you want windows, then I can do it for you, okay? And everything, remember, there's interior walls and exterior walls. I'll take you outside and show you that in 2 seconds. So we're back outside, and as you can see, these are cover caps. You'll get 4 cover caps. So the front is the wider shed with 6 foot, and then the 8 foot is the interior. So this side runs past this, and then we add this cap on it to make it look all nice like that. And that's how we go. Once it gets felted, we never have a cap so the water can run off. Wherever the water runs off, it's allowed to. You have your fascias on your front. I'll just turn around to this little Pent shed I've made. This is a little 6x4. Looking, as you can see, it's got a fascia on the side. It's got a fascia on this side, but it doesn't have a fascia where the water's going to fall off. That's foil free, and you just tack that, and that's how we do that. 6x4. And as I say, so if we go in this one and the back wall is 4, look, there's no spar in that. That's the biggest gap you'll ever get in a shed without a spar. If you've got a gap bigger than that, you're doing so much wrong. Okay? Now we're at a Pent shed. And a Pent shed is exactly similar, except for the lowest end on the Pent shed, if you look, is exactly the lowest side as an Apex shed. So there's no one's better than others, just these are dear Apexes because they're a bit more harder to make than these Pents. So this is a Pent shed, all thing, there's your cover cap ready to go on. Remember as well that the shed bottom always hangs an inch past the frame, so it allows the water not to come back in. A roof, this is a roof on a shed. A roof, it always hangs over. If you notice, there's always a spout round, and then your 3x2s. If it's a big shed, it's carrying things through the middle, because it's a bigger shed. More bigger your shed is, more you get in. So what we do, we put 3x2s in this shed, look, to give it the stability. So you do your frame round the edges, Put your 3x2s, these things in here, screw from the bottom, then you just bore across the top and felt it, and that's how that's done. We'll just go inside and show you a little thing I've got in here. So this is a door. All our doors, all the space of that door there is 34 inches, which is bigger than any door on any house. So if you can get it in your house, you can get it in our shed. And so your door, this is hinged on the right, swinging to the left, so it carries a clap lat on the left for the door to hit to, and it has a spar going above half and half on the board. So when the door hits here and here, and it stops water from coming in. Remember again, when you're doing doors, always work downwards so you get this all nice and straight. And so then when you door, you will get these spars off me. You'll get these cut at the angle. So you make these two, we call them Zs. Put them all on and frame. I have got a picture I can show you. If you WhatsApp me, I'll show you exactly how I do a door. So then we'll go to the back of the frame. Again, look, this is a 6 foot, so it's got a spar in it. It's an 8 foot, so it'll have 2 spars in it. This is the highest end to the lowest end, so you can always stand up in our sheds. You know, to this height here is about 6'2". To this height here is around about 7'2". So there's a good foot on these. You do get a bit more if you go into the 10 foot. This will raise up another 100 mil, which is 4 inches. Then when we do make your shed as well, you'll get these corner blocks. Now these corner blocks go in the corner. You'll always get these on a big shed, unless it's just a little 4 foot shed which just flop on and they don't have no this heavy duty to carry the roof. On a 4 foot wide shed, you don't need any spars to take the weight, because we're only spanning 4 foot. And exactly the same. So when we do this door, you see, there's your door. Only thing you would have to cut is this spar and this spar, which creates the door spars for you, because these door spars and this spar in the middle here, this slanted side, will always come at the height of the highest side. So what you do, you connect the spar across there, across from front to back, and then you find where this is and just cut this down. And that's how we do that. So I'll just give you a quick show round. And they're all the same, it's just on a bigger or smaller scale, depending what size shed. You know, and there's a top corner, you can see. We get this spar at 34 inches, what you're screwing above your door. And then there's your floor. Your floor comes in a bungle. So you'll have your boards and your spars, and you create a floor like this. And that becomes a floor for you. And if you notice, if you look at the side, look how the boards hang past the floor, stopping the water from coming in. And this is why we sell so many sheds. This is a 22 mil board. Well, it's finishing around about 18 on the sides. The floor and the roof is all made out of standard 16 stuff, because you don't need the height and the weight up there. And that's how you do it. So you create this frame going all the way around the outsides, as you can see. Put your 3x2s on, put your boards, felt down to this. This will not have a cover cap on, same as this shed I've shown you. It'll only have the cover cap on at the highest end and the sloping sides. Same as these apexes. They'll only have the fascias on the front. They don't have them where the water's going to drop down this way. The water's got to fall freely. And as you say, here we go again, look. Another door, this guy, there's the 2 Zs on the back. There's the floor. There's the side hanging past. And as you can see, I put the roof on this one. You can see exactly how everything's made for you. These are depending on yourself. You can move, I'll just give you the timber, you can move these in or out, but I'm sure they're 22 degrees. And then there'll be a crossbar, and then you just jigsaw this W out with your finger. Because again, this roof does not carry any roof trusses going through, because we're only spanning, as you can see, we're only spanning 3 foot. So this, on a 3 foot span, we can allow the roof to just flop on like that. Okay? Now if it's a bigger roof, if it were 12 by 10, this wouldn't be cut out. And these would run all the way through. You get a few on them, but I'll show you that on a later video on a bigger shed. Once I get one made, I'm doing one for someone. But in theory, it's more or less straightforward. You can always WhatsApp me, I can send you pictures, and I can show you how to put them together. But as long as you tell me what style, and if you want windows, and I can do it, cut it to that style and do it for you. And that's how we do it at Sheds. You save yourself a few £100 just by building it. To build this from someone what's got a bit of DIY about them, it's a day. Someone who hasn't, it's a day and a half, 2 days. But again, your straight sides, anything when you're doing these frames will always countersink where a screw's going for you. So that'll always be on the straight sides, never on a slanting side. A straight side on a roof always comes past the slanted side. And it's same on the sides of your shed. All these will be countersinkered, so when that back frame, you'll get, we'll call this the top and the bottom spar. So you get your T and your B, and you get your 4 uprights in it. Your T and your B will be countersunk, so you know then that's where it goes. So if you were to put a window in here, you just, whatever window I've got, I just move that to it, and they could come in or go out a bit. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't have to be. If there's no window in it on an 8 foot, they're 800 spacers on them, okay? So any questions, you've always, I'll have my number, and you can WhatsApp me and I'll send it to you. So I'll just do a quick look round. So anything you need to know, everything's there for you. You'll have your hinges, tags, and everything will be delivered on a list, all ticked off, exactly what you have, and that's how we make sheds. And we've been doing sheds at Sheds for 25 years. But let's just have a quick look. I'll just walk around. And as you can see, as it is, there's a window, there's your side caps, we call them. We always throw a few extra bits and bobs in anyway, so don't be frightened if you build your shed and you get a few bits of it. But that's how we do it, look, and just remember, lowest point to any shed doesn't have a fascia. It needs the water to run off, okay? And we make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sheds. And again, going this one, this is a flop-on roof, like I said, so this will not need corner blocks or any support going through the roof because it's only covering 4 foot. But all the doors are exactly the same on every sheds. The problem is if you put a door in the low end in a sloping side like this, you do get a lower door because your door can't come no higher than this point here. So you do lose a bit of height restricted when you put in doors in slanted sides, and you're better off putting them in the high sides because look at, you could have had an extra board high if you to put it in this side. If you get what I mean. You know, I don't want to complicate things, but that's how they are for you, look. And that's as sheds, okay? Any questions, you know me. I'm Darren at Shed. Just ring, I'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.